Hello, everybody all around the world. Merry Christmas! Happy holidays, happy Kwanzaa, happy Hanukkah, happy, well, whatever you're celebrating, I hope it's happy. See our Christmas tree? Check it out. There's one tall tree. Here's me, 6 foot. Here's the tree, about 15 feet. So I am really thrilled to be with you, take you on a little walk around my house today. And first, let me start by saying hi to my family in California. Merry Christmas. I love you guys. Merry Christmas to my mom in Idaho. I love you guys and my family in Idaho. I love y'all. And wow, what else is possible? It's so interesting because we've had lots of family and different things in the house, you know, and around. And there's so many things that I wanted to do to send out to all of you who are, well, suffering through Christmas, maybe? I don't know. So there's a couple things that I want to talk about today, and I'm going to flush one of them out that I hope will actually allow this Christmas season to be the happiest yet. And first, you got to say hi to Gary, who's trying to sneak by.
I'm trying to sneak by. Why are you showing me?
Look at that shirt. That's awesome.
Happy holidays.
Hey, talk about Merry Christmas. Yeah, so as you see, as we walk around our house, it's like we have a lot of beautiful things here that we're extremely grateful for. And so the first question I would have is, what can you be grateful for this holiday season? It's been very interesting because we had 15 people in our house. All of Gary's family was here. And it was amazing on a lot of levels. And you know how it is when you hang out with a lot of people, family or others. And, oh, welcome to my room. I'm just getting out of the noise zone there. And you know how interesting it can be. There's a good angle. I like that one better. Look at the beautiful girl. See, another thing I'm grateful for. But basically having all of these really cool people in our house was just a very interesting thing. And so there's two aspects of what I wanted to talk to you today about. Sorry, I just got to move. I'm a mover. I don't stand still very well. I'm going to open the door. We're going to go outside because I really like it out there. It's really nice. Got to move a little pad over, but it's a little noisier out here, but it's actually really beautiful. There we go. Okay, cool. So, ooh, sun. Yay, Christmas sun. How does it get any better than that? So, first thing I wanted to talk to you about is really, what can you be grateful for this holiday season? One of the things that I found for me is there's this amazingly deepening appreciation for the people in my life, the really kind, caring people that I know around the world that not only have a level of caring for me, but also a level of gratitude and that truly have my back. And I gotta say, it is truly one of the greatest gifts in the world. Gary and I were having a conversation the other day, and he's like, you know what? He's like, my whole life, you know, I thought it was about the gifts and the presents and all that sort of stuff. He's like, no, it's really about the people. And that's my point of view also. It really is. It's about the people in our lives. That's what makes living wonderful. That's what makes Christmas wonderful or any holiday season wonderful. Now, there's the other side of that where for a lot of us, we're so sensitive, we're so aware that being around people sometimes gets really, really challenging. And I gotta say, it was for me too, until I started using these darn access tools and started changing things rather dynamically. And then I got so friggin' happy. It's like I could be around everybody doing whatever they were doing. And it was like, I'm good, it's cool, I'm having a good time. And I really did. And so, first thing I want to let you know is I have a playlist on YouTube called Surviving the Holidays, or something like that. It's basically like a holiday survival guide. And I pretty much add to it each year and do that so that we can, you know, give you guys some tools that you can use to get out of the crap and into the possibilities. Because not one of us that should live with crap in our lives, and especially during the holidays. Yes, why is it so difficult with family? Guess what, kids? I have got a tool for you. It's actually hot off the presses. And it's interesting because we found this right before the last class that I just facilitated in Australia a couple weeks ago, or months ago, or years ago, or maybe it was last week. I don't even remember. Time is this weirdly fluid element in my life right now. And normally what would happen is we would find this brand new thing, and then we'd be able to sort of share it with the world, through Access classes. And people would say, hey, we found this thing, and they would send it to other people. Well, I'm doing it via Facebook Live right now. So let's just get straight to it. And I apologize, my ADHD is going big time. There's so much I want to say, and so much I want to tell you about what I found personally about how to do things differently and how to be different that gives you a sense of you. And the gratitude that I said was actually a really big one. But one of the other ones that I want to talk to you about, and you want to ask yourself this question, is if I were truly being me, who would I be? If I were truly being me, how would I be right now? And if I were truly being me, what would I choose? And so why is it so difficult with family? That is such a wonderful question. And the funny part is, it doesn't matter how wonderful your family is. For a lot of you, there are these things called refined judgments that they have, which is what we're going to talk about here for the next few minutes, and give you some awareness on it and hopefully some tools to actually get free of it. But what happens is, it doesn't matter how wonderful your family is and how much you love them or how much you want to love them, you've got so much history with them built up that you go into this amazing place of this contraction, and what's really happening is you're being less than you are. So once again, if you ask this question, if I were truly being me, who would I be? What would I be? And if I were truly being me right now, what would I choose? And if you recognize that that's a question that you can ask that will start to give you the awareness of you again, you start to get the ease of actually being what it is you would like to be. Because the difficulty is, what we do is we stop being us. And that is the most terrible thing we can do to us. The most horrendous, unkind. Wait, we're going to stretch the selfie stick. Oh, stretching the selfie stick. I think that may have other connotations that I'm not going to get into on Christmas Day. Anyway, so what happens is we stop being us. We go into this combination of all these things we've decided we need to be. We go into this weird sort of thing that is something other than us. So let's talk about this. Now, so we got this awareness really right after the, hey, I'm ready for the Houston COP2. Come to Houston for the COP. Come. It'll be fun. You'll see. We're going to have a conversation about this thing I'm talking about right now in depth. And also, I recognize some of you have not done... Yes, that's what we're calling it these days, stretching the selfie stick. Oh, so true. See, I wasn't going to go there, but we went there. Thank you for that. Okay, so let's talk about this. Hey, Timmy, what are you doing? You stretching the selfie stick again? Mom, close the door. Okay, sorry. Okay, so just have to take a moment with that one. That one is just, that one should last. Okay, hashtag stretching the selfie stick. All right, so let's talk about this thing now. Oh, okay, and here's the other thing. Like, when you're not being you, you don't laugh. It's just so not fun. Ah, the sun is out. Ah! Oh, how wonderful. Refined judgment. Let's talk about this, okay? Here's what happens is, for a lot of you guys who are searching for more awareness and looking to try to create something different, you don't want to function from judgment, okay? And you don't want to function from the sort of fixed points of view that everybody else has. But what happens is, when you grow up, there's... gosh, I'm sorry, I'm having a bit of a tough time explaining this right now. And my ADHD is just going crazy. I'm trying to close my eyes to get to a linear form of thought to actually have a conversation with you. It's still not working. There's all kinds of stuff going on in here. Of course, tapping into all of you, maybe that's part of the reason why. Okay, so this refined judgment thing. What are refined judgments? Well, a lot of us have become aware of what judgment is. It's sort of that really heavy energy around certain things. You know, you'll show up in a particular outfit and your mom looks at you and you know that's judgment, okay? Or you'll show up late, as you usually do, and you get that thing where everybody's just angry at you, frustrated with you, pissed off at you. We know what that is. That's judgment, right? And it's got such an intense energy that it's sort of really easy to pick out, right? Well, what we found is far more of the judgments that we deal with are these things called refined judgments. What is a refined judgment? Refined judgment is an energy that is equally as, if not more destructive than real judgment, than big judgment, than unrefined judgment. And it's an energy that you pick up on. And what happens is that's what we encounter when we get around our families. Now, it's interesting because if we have friends in our lives that don't judge us, what happens is there's a lot of space to be around them, right? Well, why? Because that energy of judgment isn't there. But what happens when we get around people we've known for a long time, there's so many refined judgments that have been built up that we perceive all of their refined judgments, okay? So here's theirs. And then you're over here. It's tough to do a two-handed description with one hand, because the other hand, as we've already figured out, is stretching the selfie stick. Anyway, let's not talk about that. So here's their refined judgments, and it's all of their, you know how it is when you're around somebody and you can just feel that energy? And it's like, yeah, which a lot of you feel around your parents or different people that you've been around. Now, I'm really fortunate to have some of the family members that I do, because there's just gratitude there, and there's truly an intensity of caring there, which, and how did I get so lucky? I don't know. So I just really want to thank the people that I know that are like that. It's like my mom, my sister, and my entire sister's family. It's just like, wow, amazing. And we don't have the refined judgment thing. We just have total gratitude and caring. Gratitude and generosity, when you choose it, eliminate refined judgment from your world. So gratitude and generosity, when you choose it, eliminate this refined judgment. So, but that refined judgment is that all of those energies that you can feel, all of those energies that you can perceive, those are the refined judgments. Now, I'm looking at my phone because, okay, I just want to make sure nobody on my team is texting me. Let's see, let's make sure. Nope, we're good. Okay, cool. Oh, and Ann is sending me processes. Thank you. I love the Ann. How does it get any better than that? Okay, so these refined judgments that's all that shit that you've been dealing with family and with your friends, and where people go into this weird contraction. And so if you can recognize it, their energies, and here's the thing about refined judgment, people have misidentified and misapplied that as awareness. So what happens is people think that what they're doing is awareness. So for example, let's say, you have one family member that's always late, as an example. And when they walk in, you know that similar energy that comes up every time they show up? Well, it's their refined judgments and everybody else's refined judgments that create that weird energy. So if you recognize that, you can start to change it now. Now, what do? With every weird energy that comes up this holiday season, and if you allow it to, this holiday season, which we're like smack dab in the middle of, and we got another week of partying, etc. This can be the holiday season that you actually get free of this stuff, okay? And I've been using this personally pretty much nonstop. And what I noticed was, so we had 15 people in the house. That's a lot of people in my house. And you got to recognize, it's like I'm with people all year long. I am with thousands of people all year long. And so what would I really probably like to do when I get home at the end of the year, before I start doing it again next year? Have some space, right? Guess what? No, didn't happen. Not possible. Why? Well, because we have this family thing. Okay, cool, no problem. And what occurred initially was this resentment that I couldn't have space. How many of you are resenting what's going on in your family, resenting the idea that you can't have space, resenting the idea that people want to encroach upon you, resenting the idea that people don't get you, resenting the idea that people are in judgment of how you live your life? All of those are refined judgments. So how much refined judgment, and here's the process, how much refined judgment am I using to create the blank I am choosing? So in this case, how much refined judgment are you using to create the resentment you were choosing? Everything that is times a gazillion. We just run and create it, please. Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, beyonds. Wow! Okay, that's got a lot of energy to it, my friends. So one more time, how much refined judgment are you using to create the resentment you were choosing? Everything that is times a gazillion. We just run and create it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. And so, once again, so many things I want to say. Okay, but also, if you've never done any access consciousness before, and the clearing statement that I just used kind of blew you out of the water, you can go to theclearingstatement.com and have it explained. It's about a 15-minute thing, so I'm not going to do it, but it's a way of changing all the crap in your life you want to change by going back to where the crap first got created and undoing it so it doesn't exist. You're eliminating the seed that allowed it to exist in the first place. Anyway, so back to that. What you want to do is you want to ask, how many refined judgments am I using to create the whatever it is? Now, the beauty of this particular process, as with so much of Access, is you don't have to be able to identify it, okay? Let's say you're having a great day and everything is wonderful, and you walk in and your mom gives you one of those looks, you know, where you're like, where she's like, oh my God, you wearing that again, you fat cow, what's that? Which is basically all the stuff that's in her head that she doesn't say. And you have that weird energy come up in your world. You want to go, all the refined judgments I'm using to create that weird energy, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. So if you're new, once again, all the refined judgments I'm using to create that, you want to say destroy and uncreate it, and then you can just go pock and pot all that shit, okay? And it literally starts to change. It's a really cool, really beautiful thing, and a really wonderful tool to have. So just think of all that stuff that's been going on during this holiday season. All those energies, how many refined judgments do you have creating all of that? Everything that is times a gazillion. We destroy and uncreate it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. And I gotta say, you know, there's like, I mean, other than hanging out with people who really care about you and who really, you know, personally, you know, one-on-one in person, IRL, as it were, there's like, this is so cool. Hanging out with all you guys on Christmas Day. This is just friggin' awesome. I love it. Oh, and by the way, yeah, I know, ADHD. But by the way, I'm doing a New Year's ESC, I think on the 29th. So please, if you're on the Access database, please look for that email. It'll be on the 29th in the US. Okay, cool. So how many refined judgments are you using to create the resentment you were choosing? Everything that is right and wrong, times a godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it, please. Right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Okay, so the beauty of this is when all of those weird friggin' energies come up, you just go, all the refined judgments creating that, right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Okay? And so this is all you got to do. And once again, I'm going to say this from personal experience, okay? Because I have always had a difficulty not being able to just be in my house. And, you know, when people would come over or stay over, whatever, it's like I've always had a difficulty with that. And what it did was it took me out of being the kindness that I naturally am and desire to be. Like if I'm going to choose how I'm going to be in the world, it's going to be kind. It's going to be generous. It's going to be like with a wicked sense of humor that is just off the charts. And all of those things I was taking myself out of and have my entire life based on these refined judgments. And based on the idea of having a problem with this or having a problem with that. Here's one thing I want to say. Maybe the ESC is on the 28th. I have no idea. One thing I want to say is you don't have to have a problem anymore. You don't actually have to have a problem with anything. You can actually be problem-free. But the way to do it is to actually be there with the thing that is the problem and the energy of that, and then pock and pod the refined judgments surrounding that. Okay? Wait, oh, Megan just said when the New Year's ESC was, but I didn't get it. So there you go. Okay, so the recognition of that is, what if this holiday season was the time to actually get free? What if this holiday season is finally the time where you can be you in any situation? Okay, so what happened for me personally, I talked to you about this thing of sort of always having this challenge, this difficulty with not having the space that I wanted at the end of the year, quote unquote. But even the point of view of having that space that I wanted and needed is a refined judgment. Okay, can you guys see me okay? Because my camera's looking really weird to me. Maybe it's just my phone going crazy. Oh well, hopefully you can see me. 28. Wow, okay, cool. So having said that, for every weird energy that comes up, for everything that makes you feel contracted, Yay, it's the 28th. Okay, global ESC is on the 28th, in the US at least. You want to go all the refined judgments, creating that, destroy and uncreate it, POC and POD, okay? So how many refined judgments do you have creating the resistance to your mother? Everything that is times a godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. How many refined judgments do you have creating the resistance to your father? Everything that is times a godzillion, and the resentment, everything that is times a godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. How many refined judgments do you have creating the weirdness around your siblings? Everything that is times a godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. How many refined judgments do you have creating the points of view about you not being a good enough daughter, a good enough son, a good enough parent, a good enough brother, a good enough sister, a good enough friend, and a good enough person in general? Everything that is times a godzillion, we destroy and uncreate it, please. Right, wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Now, here's the, this has so many aspects to it, okay? But the other thing is, you know how the holidays come up, and it's almost like the whole world goes into this weird place, and at the same time, it's supposed to be this happy time. Because it's kind of like a disaster. The disasters of the world bring out the best in us, and they bring out the worst in us. And what you notice is you'll notice both of those going on. You'll notice the best of people showing up, and you'll notice the worst of people showing up. But all of those things that twist you are your refined judgments or your awareness of other people's refined judgments. So let me tell you how it works, is you'll have somebody who has refined judgment of something. And once again, it's not even definable. It's just this energy that you can perceive, and it's got all kinds, maybe thousands of aspects to it that you couldn't even really identify, but sort of. And so you'll be aware of somebody who has that, and then what happens is, in order to try to deal with it, you go into your refined judgments to try to handle dealing with their refined judgment. Now you're stuck with refined judgment here and refined judgment here, which leaves you no space in the middle. And remember, what I said is, you being you, whoa, it's getting windy. Whew, hopefully you can still hear me. You being you is this amazing gift and this amazing possibility. But when you're functioning from trying to deal with the refined judgments that you perceive, and when you go into your refined judgments, you are now out of being you. Whew, I had an itch, okay? So all the refined judgments that have taken you out of being you, oh baby, will you just run and create it, please? Times a godzillion, right, wrong, good, bad, all nine, POD, POC, shorts, boys, and beyond. Sound is great, cool, and thank you. Oh, you guys are awesome. Thank you so much for the gratitude. I can't tell you how happy it makes me. And I can't tell you how happy I am to bring this stuff to you. It's like, oh, yay, freedom for my people. Freedom for my brothers and sisters. Freedom for all of us weirdos in the world, you know? And so the other thing is, a lot of you don't like to do the holidays like you're supposed to. You want to go off and be on your own, or you want to take a trip to Bali or something. And some of my good friends are in Bali right now doing exactly that. Good on ya, okay? So, but how many refined judgments do you have of you for not doing the holidays right? For not doing family right? For not gifting right? For not blah, 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 blah. Every not that you're in judgment of is basically a refined judgment. So all of those, we destroy and create all that, please. Times a godzillion, right? Wrong, about all nine, POD, POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. So your mission, should you choose to accept it, is to get rid of all those friggin' refined judgments that keep you from being you. Now, I had started telling you what happened for me with all kinds of people in my house, you know, and that sort of thing. And by the way, I gotta say, it's like, I like those people. And it's really funny because it's like, with the refined judgment in place, it's really tough to communicate that you actually like somebody. It's actually, what it is actually tough to be that energy of actually liking people, caring for them, seeing the humor in them, being able to play with them and interact with them and be grateful for them. Those refined judgments create a wall between you and them, as does judgment, but it's like the difference is judgment sticks out like kangaroo balls. Refined judgment sits under there, and it's far more invasive. It's far more pervasive. If you ever talk to a physicist, they'll tell you that they think 70-some% of the universe is this thing called dark energy, but nobody can see it. Nobody can define it. Nobody really knows what it is. They're trying to figure it out by doing experiments and studies and all this sort of stuff, That's exactly the way refined judgment is. It's sitting through 70 to 8 billion% of the crap in your life, just weaving its way through, screwing you up, okay? So once again, how many refined judgments do I have creating this that I'm choosing? Right, wrong, good and bad, bought and pock, all nine shorts, boys, beyond. So in doing that, when I got home, because what happened was when I got home, number one, I got really tired. So if you've been getting really tired, you're probably trying to process these refined judgments or get away from the refined judgments. Now, so with that, okay, we have that. Now, if you, excuse me, so I got home, I was getting tired, I was getting cranky, I didn't really want to be around anybody, and I started going, okay, this is not the way I want to spend my holiday, and this is not the way that I actually want to be here. And every time something would come up like that, I'd go, okay, all the refined judgments creating that. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, girls. Now, here's the thing is, the beauty of Access is, even if it's not a refined judgment, even if it's something else, if it's not a refined judgment, it just won't change it. So try it. You don't have anything to lose. So if you go, hey, so all the refined judgments I have creating that, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys, girls, most likely it's going to change some part of it. And I say that because we have refined judgments that are attached to judgments. They're attached to points of view. They're attached to all these different things. And so most likely it will change a part of it, if not all of it. But even if it doesn't matter. You're no worse off than when you said the clearing statement, okay? So just go for it. All the weird little twists that make you feel less than you, that make you feel less than generous, make you feel less than spacious, just pock and pot all that shit, okay? Cool. So exactly, it's calling out the energy, and it's pinpointing the energy, like, and it's functioning from the energy of it, not from having to define it. Because every definition that we do takes so much time and energy, and then if it doesn't match that definition, if it's that plus this, plus this, plus this, plus this, but we can't put our finger on it, we don't ever get to change it. In this case, with these refined judgments, you just go, all the refined judgments creating that, right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Cool. So how many refined judgments are you using to create the lack of generosity with the people in your life that, well, with the people in your life are you choosing? Everything that is times a gazillion. We just run and create it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Now, okay, having just said that, let me put it this way, and then say something else about it that will hopefully make it even clearer for you, I hope. How many refined judgments are you using to create the lack of generosity you have with people who are unwilling to receive your generosity are you choosing? Everything that is times a gazillion. We just run and create it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Because here's the way it works. I'm going to say, whether you know it or not, you have a lot more generosity in your world than you've ever imagined. And when you function from that, you're happy. So when you and the most interesting thing is, and I know a lot of you like to give people gifts, and I'm the same way. I love to give people gifts and see their world change. And there are some stories of some things that occurred that I was able to choose just before Christmas that just rocked my world by giving some gifts to some amazing people. But when you do that and when you be that way, that's actually you. And so I know a lot of you like giving gifts and it actually makes you happy. And what happens is when you give somebody a gift and they don't receive it, what ends up happening is then you go into the refined judgments. And I mean, just, you know how this is. You go to give them a gift and you go into, oh my God, what did I do wrong? Did I give them too much? Do they just not like to receive? Am I a bad person? Was I stupid for doing that? Blah, 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 blah. Those are all refined judgments. So everything that is times a gazillion. We just run and create it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Woo, the sun's coming back out. Yay! Okay, so check this out. Recognize this. The greatest gift you have to give is you. Now, that doesn't mean give you away, but the greatest gift you are and the greatest gift you have is actually you being you. So what happens is with these refined judgments in place, what we do is we contract from being us and gifting the world us. This is huge, guys, because what happened after I got over my refined judgments of needing time, needing space, and every need, by the way, is also a refined judgment. So if you notice yourself having needs, go, how many refined judgments am I using to create the needs I am choosing? Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. But what happened for me was, in getting over these refined judgments, all of a sudden, I was actually getting to be. And the funny part about Gary's family is it was so interesting. We were at lunch the other day, and Gary went to say something to try to acknowledge one of Gary's grandkids about being autistic. And actually, there's a capacity within that. It's not a disability. And he said that, and Gary's son just got pissed. And then the family thing went on, and these people closed down, and these people closed down, and these people closed down. And I was like, and I was sitting there going, wow. And I looked at that and I went, wow, this is very interesting. I'm still having a good time here. And then I looked and I said, wow, guys, you know what? This is really interesting. I said, your family is very interesting. I said, when my family gets together, what we'll do is, we'll drink, we cuddle each other, we tell each other how much we adore each other, talk about each other's lives. And then half of my family goes off and talks politics and blah, blah, blah. And then they come back and then we cuddle each other some more and adore each other some more and drink some more and then say goodbye and love each other until next year. And I said, your family gets together and it's like ninjas, man. They're like, wah, twa, twa, twa. Like everybody's always looking for the next attack and how they can get the best attack in and blah, blah. And I'm like, wow. But finally, for the first time, rather than going into resistance to it or resentment of it, or why do I have to deal with this on my off time at the end of the year, I looked at it and went, wow, that's not what I grew up with at all. And it gave me a level of gratitude, but it also allowed me to be a space where I could be there with all of them to see if anything could be changed. And this is the other difference. See, most of you have wanted to create change. You've wanted to create peace in your whole life. Sorry, Jamie, that you have a ninja family too. And so recognize this though. Isn't it kind of cool to get the information? All of that shit is refined judgment. This person says something and this person goes into their refined judgments and then this person goes into their refined judgments based on what they said, and they're talking from refined judgment and they're talking to refined. It's like fucking ninja refined judgment. Okay, anyway. So, but what happened was it allowed me to be there and be this space to see what could be changed and contributed. And as I was saying before my ADHD kicked in, is that I know a lot of you over the course of your life have always wanted to create change in your family, in the unhappy people you see, in the people that are doing this ninja attack mode all the time. This is why you haven't been able to be there in the way that you could, that would allow you to affect change, okay? So, because what happens is when they speak from refined judgment or speak from the place they're speaking, judgment or refined judgment, you go into your refined judgments of how to handle that situation, and then you speak from your refined judgment, and every time you do, you're out of the space of you. So for those of you who've been wanting to change the things that go on in your family, well, guess what? If you get over your refined judgments, then you'll finally have the space of being able to be you. And the gift of that also is, how many refined judgments do you have that are telling you that you need to be the source for change and that you're not doing it well enough? Everything that is times a godzillion. We destroy and create a place. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys and beyonds. Holy cow, people, that has a huge amount of energy to it. Wow. Okay. So I'm hoping this is making a lot more sense to y'all. Y'all, I say y'all because I'm in Texas now. I'm hoping that makes a lot more sense, because now, if you recognize that even your desire to change them in the way you do is filled with refined judgments, pock and pod that too. Pock and pod all the refined judgments that make you believe that you need to be the source of change in your family. Everything that is times a godzillion. We destroy and create it, please. Right and wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, shorts, boys and beyonds. And if you went over the course of your life, you'd see that the person you are right now, and all of the refined judgments you have built up, because we have these walls of them at this point, has actually started with you picking up refined judgments when you were a kid. And once again, you pick them up as the energies that they are. And then what you'll do is, hey, puberty, that's awesome. I wonder if I'm going to look 12 tomorrow, based on my voice. Anyway, hairball. Okay, hairball leading to puberty. I don't forget it. All the refined judgments that brought up, right, wrong, good and bad, pot and pock, all nine, trust, okay, so what happened is, so your refined judgments, you've been building them for years. And so you get to this point right now and you look and you're wondering, you're like, wait a minute, why can't I seem to do this? Why can't I seem to have peace here? Why can't I? It's because of all that shit that you built up. So one of the other things that you can do is you can look at the past, at certain situations that still are not resolved, or situations that brought up really weird energies that contracted you and whatever, and go, all the refined judgments creating that, mine and theirs, destroy and uncreate it. Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys and beyonds. Okay, so, oh, and then the other way this works is what you'll do as the kid that you were, you see your parents doing all kinds of judgments, right? You'll see them doing all kinds of judgments, and because you don't want to judge, you go, I'm not going to judge like that. And so what you do is you whittle it down to a refined judgment that's far more civilized, darling. I will do far more civilized judgments, and it will be amazing. Thank you very much, because I'm not going to judge like those people, okay? And so now you're still functioning from judgment. It's just refined judgment, so you can't find it and uproot it. So that's where I say it's all of these energies that stick you that you don't know what to do with and haven't known how to function, okay? So all the refined judgments that don't let you know how beautiful and amazing you are and what a gift you are. Will you destroy and create it, please? Times a gazillion, right? Wrong, about all nine, POD, POC, shorts, boys, and beyonds. Yes, there's so many refined judgments about finances during the holidays, and they sort of amp up. So how many refined judgments are you using to create the stress about money and finances you were choosing? Everything that is times a gazillion. Will you destroy and create it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. How many refined judgments are you using to create the unhappiness around money and finances you were choosing? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. How many refined judgments are you using to create the limitation of the money you could be choosing? Are you choosing? Everything that is times a gazillion. Will you destroy and create it, please? Right and wrong, good and bad, POD and POC, all nine shorts, boys, and beyonds. Hey, everybody sharing the video, thank you so much. You guys are awesome. Thank you. I mean, wouldn't it be awesome to get this out into people's hands? Excuse me, another hairball. Wouldn't it be great to get this into people's hands and give them this tool so that they can start changing this stuff? And I mean, what else is possible? If we all, I mean, just for a moment, ponder the world that we would have if we all got over refined judgment today. Would that be an amazing thing? I'm going to say yes. So please feel free to share this video, and thank you so much, all those of you who are doing that. I am very grateful, because it would be so nice if this gift could actually go out into the world and be received, but also create a change in people's worlds and what they have the capacity to choose. And what will start to emerge, I'm hoping, is the generosity and the kindness that you actually are, and the ability to be you in any situation that you actually are and that you have the capacity to be. The ability to be you and be there and actually have the capacity to see if there's some change that can be created. Now, it was really interesting with one of the family members. I said, hey, you know, can I talk to you about this conversation? Because I think you mistook what was said. And initially there was all this resistance. And then I said, look, I'm not trying to like put forth the point of view. I just want to make sure that you understand what was actually being said, so you know, if you want to be upset about it, fine, but at least be upset about what's really going on. And so we had this conversation, and for the first time I perceived vulnerability in this person's world. And we actually got to some things that occurred for that person in childhood that were really dynamically changing. And so had I been stuck in my refined judgments, I wouldn't have been able to be there to be that. And yes, I'm purposely being nondescript on who the person was, because I don't want anybody to be embarrassed. So, but anyway, so what it does is actually allows you to finally be the generosity you are, to be the being that you are, and to actually be that space of being able to create change, number one, if it's possible, but with no point of view. But number two, not judging you for not being able to create the change. Because based on the refined judgments, what happens is you have these refined judgments that you should be this way, that you should do this, and so you jump in even when it can't be received. even when it won't create more of a result because you have this refined judgment that you need to do this, and all the refined judgments that are going on activate yours, and you go into these like, and you just are so frustrated. So you sometimes you lash out, sometimes you go away, sometimes you just go into judgment of you. And with these going away, you can just be there without a point of view that something has to be changed. Be there to be the generosity you are. Be there to be the kindness that you are. Be there to be the gift that truly being you actually is. And I say again, you being you truly is the gift. And if you get rid of these things, you're going to start to see that in ways you never imagined possible. So, Merry Christmas, my beautiful friends. Can't tell you how happy I am to be here with you, although I didn't sleep last night because I was thinking of all of you. I'm not going to tell you how. I was not stretching the selfie stick while I was thinking of you. I'm just saying, okay? I was just kind of aware of your worlds, looking at what I wanted to talk to you about today, and also wondering if I could actually go into this particular subject, because as you see, it's got a lot of depth to it, but in actuality, it's so easy to change. So I do really have to say thank you to all of you for being in the world. Thank you for being the kindness that you are. Thank you for being the desire to contribute to people, to gift them more all the time. I know that's who you are. And I am so grateful that you are on this planet and that we are here together. And without these refined judgments in the way, I wonder what else we can change. And without these refined judgments, you can finally change that money situation. Without those refined judgments, you can finally change the judgments that you've had of you in relationships and in what you haven't been able to do or be. What if the greatest gift you could give yourself this Christmas is you, enjoying you, no matter who's around, no matter what's going on, and no matter what anybody has as a point of view? What if you are the gift you give you this Christmas? And please, take this thing and run with it, guys. I adore you. I look forward to seeing so many of you in person next year. And please, come to the Houston COP or the Vienna COP that Gary's doing basically at the same time. We would love to see you, because this is a conversation we want to go into depth on and give you as many tools to change as possible. I adore you guys. I truly am grateful that you exist in the world. And please know that every single one of you is a gift. And I know that's kind of hard sometimes, because you're like, yeah, but I'm one of thousands of people that's here. And yeah, and you're one of thousands of people choosing to be and do something totally different to make a difference. You're one of the few people on this planet that has a generosity of spirit, that has a kindness, that has a desire to contribute to people. And it's time for that to finally not be wrong in your world. It's time for that to finally be available as a possibility in your world. And it's time for that to finally be a gift in your world. And it's time for you to finally get that you are a gift. So please choose it. It's just your choice, my beautiful friends. Once again, thank you for being in the world. I so look forward to being with you. What if you truly being you are the gift, the change, and the possibility this world requires? Man, how do we get so frickin' lucky? Merry Christmas. Happy holidays. Bye-bye for now. Bye. Oh, wait. Let me show you my backyard. There's my backyard. Huh? There it is. Okay, now, bye.